Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on a little project. I'm going to give you a little treat since you're putting up with my grunge. So I'm going to try to do something in between each one of my grunge videos, just so you won't be bombarded with that. Okay, in the sneaky peeks today, here's an interesting little idea. I wanted to do a belly band. Well, I raised it up to where it was higher on the page, and I took some scraps, which actually, there's a little difference to it. Forgot about this. So this is a little piece that if it was bare on the back, you could write on it. But it goes in here, adding another little layer of interest. And then I have a tiny, tiny thin ribbon that I had. I think I got rid of it now. I've done used it all. But it has a little bit of bling to it. Then you have the piece from the kit. And then I put like a flat lace behind that. And that all made up the belly band. And then this piece was just a piece of scrap. Of course, it's got the gold, which goes with the ribbon. But I didn't want it to slide down my page. So these stickers from the Dollar Tree always have a piece of foam tape in between the layers to bump it up. So if you go and rest this right in between those layers, there you go. It's not going to slide anywhere. It's held up here. It's held down there. It's not going to flip out of your page in any way. So they're a great idea for you because there's so many different ways you could do this. You don't have to use the lace or anything. When you're gluing down this top piece, you're only gluing the top line here and there. So the safest way is to just glue on the top of the ribbon that's there, then lay it down so you have room to slide in your little piece that's here. Okay, there you go. So we are going to work on some envelopes today. Everybody loves envelopes. Everybody has them. You can have any size that you want. It doesn't have to be this particular one. But this was a nice large one, so I could get a bigger image. And that's what I like. And I've got a different version of it that's a smaller and a different colored to show you at the end. So it'll give you versions of it. These are from Walmart. Got them peel and stick. I've used them several times, so I'm sure you've seen them before. They're these really large envelopes. They're a 5 and 7/5, 5 and 3/4, sorry, by 8 and a 3/4. So then on the other side, they have this type of a flap opening, like a regular envelope. The other one I'm going to show you has a pointed version, which has a neat kind of a closure to it. All right, so our first thing of business, this is the vintage roses from the Journal Boat. That's when she was the Journal Boat. Now she's the Journal Boater. So this is from her kit, and it's gorgeous. This is some of the ephemera. So I've got all kinds of little things I can decorate with. This was going to be for the covers. This is going to be for the inside, and I've also lined the back with another where you can write on it easily. I think I may have printed this for the flaps, so I don't know if I'm going to be using these green pieces here. They were just scraps I had from another one of my books. So let's get rid of those. I don't think I need them. But the flaps are the first things that we're going to deal with. So let's go ahead and do those. Get that out of the way. Of course, these have a peel and stick on here, so you didn't have to lick it. So you didn't have any danger of being like that woman in, what was it, Seinfeld, where she was licking all of her invitations and she died from it. I think he got cheap envelopes and they were poisonous or something, the glue part of them. So we're just going to fold this in half to make it easy. So I know where my middle is. Then the easiest way to rip these guys is just rip it with your ruler. We want a kind of a rough edge so we get a, a rough look to it. Let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and go in here and I'm going to cut these flaps off. I never like these things. and I always try to cut them off. I did them in every one of my other ideas that I did with this. The thing is, you got to get close enough to get all of that. And then you come over here and you cut this. You flip it out and you cut it again. And that's all you have to do. And if you need to get close enough to get rid of it and go a little over, you can always trim your edges there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this next one. Okay, got that fixed. I'm going to leave any inking to the end. I'm going to see if I need it or if I like the white. We may do vintage photo. So you're going to make sure that you can go down inside of here and be able to get that little guy in after you put the glue stick to it. And I'm going to rip it up like that so I know I've got the right size. And then this is going to go in. Yeah, in easily. Now, you don't have to glue this part that'll tuck in there. That's where I was having a little trouble with the demo one I was making. So we're just going to glue with our glue stick and then tuck it in. And I'm going to leave that little bit that's not going to be needed. I'm going to leave it bare. I really appreciate everybody taking a little time out of their day to come spend it with me and see what I had to deliver today. And I really appreciate any likes and shares and comments, anything you'd like to give me to tell me if they enjoyed what they saw today or if they're going to try it. I love to hear when somebody's going to try something I've made. I don't care if you make it your own. You know, it is what it is. You're gonna be able to create and craft and have fun, and that's what I want out of it all. For you to have fun. All right, you see I ripped that sticky off of there at the last minute, and then we have a little bit that's sticking over. So let's go ahead and take care of that, and be careful around your edges. There we go. Yeah, oh, it's sticking to my scissors and bogging me down. All right, so we're going to do that for both of them. Okay, and then rub out any wrinkles or spots like that. Okay, now we're going to cover our fronts. And I believe it was this paper that I picked out to go on either side. Now, the idea of this is, and I'm going to have to bend that here in a second, is that these are to go against each other like this. So where the flap opens, that is the front and the back sides. So that's how we're going to be working with this. Now, take your ruler and get in there and bend your flap back down and get it trained again, because we need that to be folded where we know exactly where that's going to be. Okay. Do the other one exactly like that. You can usually start it a little, because this is thin copy paper that I've put on it. So usually you can start it and it'll finish the fold for you, where you know where you're going. All right, so we have that. Now, we want to get this white core off of here. So we're just going to rip this. I had to shrink it to fit because I didn't want to lose any of my little items on either side. So that's why it's got a little bit of a white line on it at the top and the bottom. All right. That ruler makes it so easy. so easy. All right, our items, this is probably going to be my front page here. So what we're going to need to do is make this in half like we did with the other one. So we know our exact center. And then we can put our ruler on there, give that a rip. All right, so we have one for one and one for the other. And are they big enough? Oh, yeah. I wanted a little bit of the top and bottom to show, especially if you dye these and have them like a tea dye color. Oh, that would be really pretty. I'm not going to quite worry about that. I'm going to do a little bit of vintage photo on there. So it's going to give me this color that's in certain spots of it. All right. The tricky part of this next step is you're going to be gluing it to the flap before you glue it to the base. Actually, it would be better if it wasn't done another color. But we're just going to go with it. We're going to go with it. So what you need to do is get your paper out that you're going to glue on. And you're going to actually glue on the flap. And as you saw, there was a little bit of a gap here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to create a little bit of a gap at that edge because it doesn't go all the way over. If you need to measure this out, I mean, go ahead. It might be easier. So, everybody's figures and does things differently. I'm definitely not in the center. So the glue stick is going to allow me, yep, to go down just enough to be where it needs to be. Now the other part, it's might be sticky. You can actually wait. Usually that'll go away. And now we're going to trim this. I'm going to actually rub it against this back side as well. So I know that's a good adhere. All right, now take this and we're going to just cut it right up through here. Now, there's another version of this. You can print or have two of the same image that you're wanting to use here. And then you can go in here and cover the rest of this. Like you could have gone all the way up to here and covered it. And then have this mimic that little bit that's still there. If you know what I mean. Let's see. And then this is to be on here like this. So when you open it, you've got the whole image, but then you only have part. You know, I really think I'm going to reprint this so you have the whole image. This big one, it really doesn't look good. Hold on. Okay, I got that accomplished. I ripped that one in half, so I have two of this one for this and two of this one. Now don't sweat because look how beautiful of a tag that would be. You just need to put it on a hard surface, like a piece of cardstock, like a pretty one with a green. I might throw that together at the end just so I can show you. So what you want to do is lay this one in here. And you're going to line it up with the one you already have on the flap. Now try to line it up as close as possible where the wording will be right. I think that's it right there. And you see I've got that little bit of a gap just like I have on that side. All right, so what we're going to do is take our trusty dusty ruler here. We're going to go in here and we're going to line it up right where that is opening is, and where we opened it a little bit before. Oh, rats. I'm going to lose my stamp, but it's on the other piece. So now, all we have to do, yeah, it's on the other piece. All we have to do is glue this one up and put that one in. And I think I made like this version better. I didn't like the opening that I had with the demo one I made, and I thought, you know, I really wish I would have done it this version where it goes all the way across. All right, get that sticky out of the way, and we're going to see what we can do here, and we're probably still going to have to move it. This is the tricky one here, because you don't want to push it down. You don't want to push it down to where it sticks all the way, but you don't want to lose all your sticky. Here, why don't we try doing it this way, where we know we're on the right level. Am I on the right words? No. Need to go up a little bit. That's the only problem with this version. Okay, let's put that baby down and see what happens. I think we're going to be, I'm going to just go with it. You'll have to fiddle and fiddle with this thing to get that just right. And you may never get there. I'm trying to move that out. Yeah, you just may never do it. So as close as possible and be happy with it. That's it. Because you're losing some of your sticky as you go. That it doesn't stay sticky forever. But if you needed to, you could get up underneath of there with your glue stick again. And especially do the corners. Because I know we lost a lot on the corners here. And it's kind of over the lip of that. But there's no sticky, so I think we're okay. Plus there was another thing I needed to do, and that was to try to adhere this little bit of a flap edge down. So whenever you put something in there, it's not really going to catch. So, and then if you can get your glue nozzle underneath somewhere that looks like it's sticking up, like this whole side is sticking up, we're just going to go ahead and glue it. Let's see if I get any better with the next one. I wonder if there's a way I can yeah, let's troubleshoot the next one. Maybe I can make a pencil mark to know exactly where it's supposed to go. I think everybody else is stuck down. Okay. So that one's done. See, it's almost it's almost, I don't think you'll pay attention. I might be inking that anyhow, so you won't notice it. All right. So the way this is going to go, it's going to go that way. So just make sure you're right side up on your gluing. Be sure you are. All right, so we're going to get our paper out here again. Glue the next side. Remember to leave that little bit of a gap there. You probably don't need to go all the way down or up. That's where I screwed up before, and I remembered on the bottom section here, because I can always go in and fix that. All right, so this is, I think, about right there. Well, not quite. Need to come down a little bit. I wanted my little bit of a, you know, a border to show, because I thought that would be pretty, especially if you had a colored envelope. Like I can see that that one did not get down at all right there. There. So I don't think I went down that far with the glue stick, so I was trying to be fancy. Trying to be fancy. But sometimes you do want to get in here with a little bit of that wet glue, just to back that up so it will stick. All right. I love my little masher. All right, so we're going to get this part off and go for our next piece. And we don't have to be as careful with it this time because we don't need to keep it. Now that still is, I've got all of Carta Postale. I've got London up here. I've got a little bit of green. Yeah, that's another pretty tag. All right. So let us see about our troubleshooting technique here. All right, the next one is going to go in. We got to line it up. Gotta get it right with this flower and the butterfly. That little dot, I cut that dot right in half so that that helps. Okay, I think it's right there. I didn't leave myself that much room over here on the right, but that's okay. All right, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to make the corners with our pencil. And I might even put a little pencil line here and there. I can always erase it. There. Oh. Let's see if that'll do the trick. And then I got to get in here and cut that bit off. Oh, I went off track there. Okay, get in here and cut this away. I guess another pretty little piece. I love these roses. That's what really brought my eye to this kit. Okay, back to the grindstone here. And we're going to put the wet glue mostly on the inside this time. And I'm going to show you how I usually do this. I'll usually do just that. Then I'll go on the whole outside edge with my wet glue. And that always holds it because it's going to seep just a little bit. Sometimes you have to wipe it up, but other than that, it does a pretty good job. All right. Now, let's see how our our spots here do. Okay, that goes right there. That goes down right here. Pull this one over just a tad. I think we might got it. And then we're going to put it down. And I'm going to swear by it. Oh, that one didn't go over far enough. Oh. All right. Go ahead and rub everybody down. And then I'm going to erase my marks while I think about it. I may not have got this one side over enough. I was rushing. Okay. And, oh, it's pretty much on the money. Look at that. That dot, I might be just a tad over, but, you know, that's close enough for me. And then, what we're going to do, we're going to ink. I always say we. I don't know why I'm doing that, but you're probably saying, where's that mouse on your shoulder? It's what we always said. All right, we're going to do a little bit of inking, and I'm not going to ink this here at all. I'm going to ink the edges. I don't want to mess up the idea of that being one continuous piece. Now, you're only going to have to ink the front as well. So, let's see. Yeah, I got to pull that apart like that because the back is going to be glued. You're not going to see it. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this off. And I need to do a little bit on the inside in here. I probably can ink this edge though, and you might want to, just so they know that that's the edge of the envelope inside, and there'll be a little goodie inside. I do need to finish gluing this one. I didn't glue it, did I? Yeah. This one, this side is always pretty good. It's the other side that's pretty open. All right. Now we just got to finish this. continuing around. There. Now we're going to do that with the other one. Alright, I have all my little ephemera that is cut out and ready to go. I need to cut this part off that's white, and we're going to have to ink and prep everything before it goes on. Okay, those done. Ooh, I got stuff everywhere. Now this I'm going to have to cut in half because some of it's going inside of the actual envelope. And it needs to be, it can be about 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. It could be either one of those. So let's see what we got best. Oh, I got stuff everywhere again. All right, 5 1/2 is right there. Oh, which is a good spot because it's cutting off my stamp, whatever you call that, the circle stamp, and it's keeping the carte postale. I slander that every time, don't I? Onto the other side, which actually that is dead center. I could have just did that. All right, so let's do some cutting. We got to cut our corners down, and I always chew that one. I like to cut it in the littlest one, just so it doesn't snag. And then I think it was Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy that gave me these little brown envelopes and had showed you them back there at the beginning of my grunge journal, but I don't think I'm going to use them on the grunge journal. I've already got some little envelopes in there, so we're going to use them for the front here, or to be in the actual envelope itself, and I'm going to use these for decorations on the front. Then I don't think I have to round the edges of anything else. Then we're going to get in here with some Distress Oxide Vintage Photo, and that's going to that's a good match right there. Good match. Now these little envelopes can be holding items if you want to put something else in here. These are considered, I think, a coin envelope. So if you wanted to look for like a large size coin envelope or make one yourself, you know, when you open this, something could tumble out. So when you have something of this orientation, it's not going to tumble out. So I'm debating whether I want to just put both of these cards inside. Oh, actually, they're not going inside, are they? All right, they're going inside now. These were actually supposed to be going in the top. One of them was going to go in the top of the envelope because it's going to have a place there. We'll just have to think something else, won't we? All right, let's get this done. Might just find me a little piece of cardstock, because it's going to have to be a smaller piece that goes down in there. All right. The words journal. I like notes, and I like dream and bloom. Who knows which one we're going to use? I'll just ink them all. Okay, I already inked the butterfly. And I'm probably going to put these on that green that I showed you at the beginning that I thought I was going to put inside, because that dark green goes with this really well. And we need to do a little bit here on the edge of these stamps. I'm not going to say we're going to use all these, but we may. You never know. Ooh, it's getting kind of warm in here. It's been really overcast here today, so I don't know. I guess it's humidity. All right, so let us think about this. We need to go ahead. Let's go ahead and glue these. We know where these are going to go on the front of our envelopes. And they were going to go inside of the envelope itself, right? Right, okay. Talking to myself. All right. That can go right there. Get it in the center. Good to go. This is a wee bit smaller, so we may have to put a little addition of something beside it. Like maybe put that down here. And put maybe the flower. Yeah, that's pretty. I had this craving to find roses at one point on digitals and such, and I looked everywhere. And this is one of the more favorite ones that I found. I'm going to put bloom right here. And this is the piece that I was telling you about. See how that green goes really well? We're going to actually back this. Cut it out on here. Just need a little snag of it. Where's my... There it is. I buried my rag. Okay. So we're going to go down here like this. And then across here like this. See if that does the trick for us. Am I straight? That's the important part. I think it's straight enough. Oh my goodness. All right. So where are we going? We're going to go right here. Kind of maybe right here. I want to overlap something so it looks like it's part of the scene. That's kind of one of the tricks to collaging, to make it all look like it works together, is if you was to attach them in some way like that. Now this one's so big I don't need nothing else, so we're good with that. All right, let me go ahead and put these two together so I can show you how that works. Then we'll go in here and see what else we need to do. So this is right side up on both of them. This one's actually going to flip around to this side. And we're going to do a U-glue on it. Which we're going to glue both of the sides. Try to be as straight as possible. Yeah, right. Alright. And then we're going to glue the bottom. Okay. Then I'm going to take this one and match up a corner somewhere. Let's just match up this lower corner. Match up your base. And then try to come up the sides and see if the two envelopes are made the same. Sometimes they're not. Take you, see, like, especially down there at the bottom. It is not matching. But we're just going to ink it. That's the beauty of inking. It will cover all mistakes. Or most of them. Alright, so we're just going to go and burnish this over that glue line. Get that glue to adhere really good. I'm going to turn it over and do some more. Just so we know we got it. We know we got it. Alright. That's pretty good. Now I should have inked it inside of there. Didn't think about it. Just didn't think about it. You don't really see it though. So if you can get your little bouncer in there and kind of kiss the edges just a little bit to give it a gradient, we're good. Now this is the part down here that did not get matched up correctly because of the envelopes. Wasn't me, it was the envelopes. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. All right, it's done. And so the idea here, now I want to scuff in a little bit more of the color because it's a little too much white staring at me. There. Yeah, too much white. We want to make it look like it's an aged antique envelope pulled out of an old roll top desk. Need a little bit more ink. Alright, that's good. Enough fluffing, whatever those angel people say. Alright, we are done with that. We need to figure out if one of these will fit inside or if I need to cut it down. Need to cut it down. And it's going to be almost tall enough. Alright, let's cut the edge off. A little bit more of the edge. Let's see if that'll fit before I do anything else. I think my husband's home. I always try to do this when he's not here. I'm shy. Okay, we're going to get back in here, recut the edges, and re-ink. Shoot that one. Hey, any luck?
Yeah, I found some nice ones today.
Oh my gosh, you got a whole bag full.
Not that many.
Well,
I used to find that many.
yeah, I guess they're not as plentiful anymore.
I saw some more though left, but it was a little small.
Yeah, he went morel mushroom hunting. Found him a good bit. Got a third of his bread bag filled up. I bet it was. Well, that's lucky for you then. Nobody wants to walk back in there. A mile? Oh, I wouldn't be doing that. I can barely last 30 minutes on the treadmill. All right. The only thing is, it goes in. It's a little soft. I have this. That might be what I'm going to have to use because I don't know that I got another one in here. Oh, I got that one. That'll work. I got to cut me some more of these. Oh. Okay. So that one needs a little bit of ink. Da 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 da. It's got his fan club greeting him, all the kitties. Oh. Okay. I'm going to glue this to the top. I hope it sticks it up high enough. All right. See if we can get it in the middle. 5 inches.
All right.
You better pet her. She means business. She probably wants you to pick her up. The cats run this house. Oh, Domino. Darn it, he didn't do nothing with you. Come back in here with me. I'm not too entertaining at the moment, Domino. I'm trying to get my make to work. Alright, so we're going to try this. We're going to do it that way. And see, it's wonderful because I had lines on it. You know, I'm wondering if I can... Let's try something. Alright. I've seen where you have candles that make stuff not stick or whatever, but I think you also can get candles to make stuff slide better. We're going to try that. We're going to see if this helps it slide down into that pocket. It's small enough, it's just kind of a weird angle. Let's see how this does. I don't need it on the bottom, just the sides. And then we're going to run it down the side like that. Let's see how this does. Yeah. Now, that's the front side, I believe. I think it worked. It worked better. It works a whole lot better. Oh my gosh. There, you need to try that. Get you a wax pencil. If you got any Easter supplies, it's still being on sale. See if you can find you one. Or a candle. I mean, if you can't find that, a candle. I've seen 49 Dragonflies uses a candle to get the sticky off of like flaps and stuff. Alright, so that works. I'm still going to have, I have those two in one side, and this will be in the other side. Look right there. Yeah, that's just clearing it. And then this side, I can put these two in. And, or I could have put one in the other side as well. Now the part with putting down the flap and making it stay there, I'm debating putting the Velcro strips down on it. Alright, let me think about that while I put a few more decorations on here. So we have, wherever you go, go with your heart. I always thought that was a pretty saying. Okay. Put that right here. And then is there another one of these I want? I've got a pink butterfly on this side. So I need a pink butterfly on this side. So we're going to go ahead and take him. Put him over here. On the flap. Right there. And we're going to take journal. Do I want journal? Or dream? I don't think I need any other words. Maybe dream. Or notes. No, we're going to do notes. Because, yeah, right up in there. Is that where I'm going to put something? Because if I put a Velcro dot, it's going to be like right there. Let's glue this down anyway. Let's put this on here for now, and then I'll figure it out. Ah, I've got it now. I always like to come up with closures and try to get them to work and work with the items that I've got, and I've got an idea. So, let's get this on here. See if I can cut this out straight. Partially straight. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to trim this one a little bit more. And I can put it up there where I wanted to, because with my idea, this is going to work. Okay. Oh, I try to throw away my ruler. All right, I wanted this one up here. That'll work fine. I'm going to lay that down because I think I might need to fill it again. Yeah, it was a perfect little spot for notes. It had a little outline and everything. Might be a little crooked. All right, and then wherever you go, go with all your heart. Right there. Yeah. Then I'm going to show you my idea for the closure. Yep, that works perfectly right there. All right. These other things are just going to go up in my drawer because I don't need them for this. I did want to throw together that one journal card so I can show it to you. Now these extra little stamps that I didn't use, they're pretty sturdy already because I put them on cardstock. But if you wanted, you could put them on a little bit more. And I actually have a little bit of file folder here, so that's perfect. We're going to put some glue on the back, glue them down, and recut them out. And see what we can see here. Which one do I want to use? The blue, I think the teal ones. This has got a little butterfly on it. We'll use that. Okay, put that in this corner. Going to burnish it down just so I know it's down good. All right, cut them out real quick. Trying not to cut my finger. These little excess file folders, little scraps, they always come in handy. Got just a tad right there. And right here. I don't think it matters though. I'm just being picky. That one does have one you can really see though. Okay, good. Now, this is my idea. Took me a long time to get there, didn't it? We have the bee. This is the front, so I want to put this here. And that flap, it's got a little bit of movement to it, so I think it could go under there with just pulling it up and putting it under there like that. I'm going to have to make sure this edge is down really well. That's the only thing. Yeah, I think it is. So we're going to go ahead and glue him halfway. There. And I only need just a little touch of it, because it's going to be kind of hard to get it in there, I think. But this was the only way that I could think would work the best. Here, we're going to let that dry. Go around to the other side and do the same. And I think we'll put that one right there. Okay, like right there. Pull that out. I'm not sure that you even need these, but they're there in case. Okay. We're going to let that one dry. And then we're going to look at the other one I made. got stuff everywhere, as usual. All right, there. See how pretty? All you had to do was like double frame it. I did a little bit of a maroon scrap that I had. It brings out the inside, and then I had a light blue, which there's just a touch of it in here, but it's light enough to write on. So I thought I'd show you how you could just make something out of a scrap. And I've repositioned everything, and I think I'm going to put this down in the center. It's skinny enough, and it sticks up enough that you're able to grab it, and you don't have to fight with it. And so I took the one that was inside of there. It's on the back side. So you got this pretty. You got a writing space there. That goes in here. You got some little goodies you can put inside of there. And then you kind of just tilt it a bit and it tucks under there. You might have to lift it up to help it, but that won't hurt nothing. And the carta postale sticks out, which is great. The little pull doesn't get in the way, so you can use it in somewhere else over time if you wanted. Or this could be like an ephemera folder that you're sending someone. You have different things you can work with here. There's another idea for the center pocket that I was going to show you. Like you could send photos or something inside of here and make this like a birthday card. But this part here, you could glue a little bitty pocket on the bottom side of here and tuck you a gift card. And it would be perfect to give to somebody. I don't know that you could mail this. It would be more like, well, you could. It's not very thick. Look at it. It's not thick at all. It might even go on to regular postage. Well, okay. So that's that one that we did. Then there's this one. I had little green envelopes. They're a whole lot smaller. These are more of a, let's see if I can measure this. These are more of a 4 7/8 or 4 3/4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5. I'm not sure. So anyway, I got some purple thread. I put that in here, and what it is, I had little brads or eyelets that were flowers, and they were this purple shade. Now you can see here where I have all that green showing, and I'm not crazy about it. I lined it with this green paper because it kind of matches some of the tones out here. It's not bad, but it's a little different. I mean, it would be harder to cut this shape as well. Over here was the other side. Now I had printed this one wrong. I printed it the right way up on this side of the paper, and then it was this way on the other side. So it was a scrap that, you know, I had to do something with. And then in the center is like a little map page. This is that little pad that I'm always telling you about. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still have it. It's uncharted. But it's the perfect size. It's a 4 by 6, 4.5 by 6.5. And you can make journal cards out of it. And that's what I did here. I thought the colors went really well. So, anyhow, there you go. There's you some ideas on what to do with some of your envelopes. You have some pretty digitals or some pretty scrapbook paper. You can go to town with them. All right. Thank you. Thank you all for coming to visit, all my subscribers and viewers. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Goodbye.